It has been said many times for more than a year. Where has he been? Alexei Urmanov in Lillehammer was an Olympic champion. But from that shining moment in Norway 4 years ago, he fell to injury and to obscurity, worrying about his job and buying car parts on the black market. It was painful in many ways, as he would remain home living with his mother, watching as another Russian, Ilya Kulik, would skate his way to Olympic gold in Nagano. At 20, and wearing costumes to remember, Kulik would spin 4 times, riding a quadruple to victory. No one had done that in the Olympics before. Kulik's inspiration for that was Kurt Browning, who remembers back to a decade ago when he was Christopher Columbus, landing in uncharted territory with the first ever quad. However, the Olympics left him unfulfilled. Todd Eldredge can relate. The millimeters of miscalculation cost him a medal in the Olympics, a gold in the Worlds. These are the careers and the faces we turn to now, including Michelle Kwan. What would be victories for some are less for them, but their journeys and commitment make them part of a figure skating culture that embraces them for how close they came, how good they are, and how hard they fight. This is what brings them to their next challenge tonight. Welcome you to the southern tier of New York State, Binghamton, just north of the Pennsylvania border. And a full house is here at the Broome County Arena for the 1998 Ultimate Four. 4 outstanding pairs, outstanding women and men who are warming up behind us. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Trautwig, along with Sandra Bezic, and this is under the auspices of the International Skating Union. So a short program followed by an interpretive free skate, judges and all their hard looks at scoring. And we're going to see Todd Eldredge, Alexei Urmanov, and 2 other men who, separated by a decade, did something outstanding in international competition for a first time.
The quad men, Kurt Browning, Ilya Kulik. Kurt, the seasoned professional, Ilya, the young Olympian, and this is the first time they're competing against each other. But what makes this competition interesting is it starts with the short program. Kurt's not used to skating short programs anymore, but Ilya is, and that's where we start.
Why Binghamton, New York? Well, it fits nicely between the last stop, Cleveland, and the next stop, Syracuse, on an ongoing national tour, which includes Todd Eldredge. Alexei Urmanov, however, hasn't been part of the tour. He's just flown in from Russia, out of action for about a year. Later, we'll see Michelle Kwan, and she's with Beth Ruyak. Beth?
Thank you, Al. Michelle, welcome back to Ultimate Four. Last time you were here, you won it, but so much has happened in that time period. What's your perspective coming into it now?
Well, inside and out, I've changed a lot within the last 2 years. And over the years, I've just learned to say, hey, have fun with your skating, enjoy what you're doing, and enjoy every moment you're on the ice.
Well, this is a rowdy crowd. They're going to love to see you here tonight. Thank you, Michelle. Back to you, Al.
All right, Beth, let's take a look at the order in which the 4 men in this Ultimate Four will compete in the short program. First, we'll see Todd Eldredge, then the Olympic gold medalist Ilya Kulik, followed by 4-time world champion Kurt Browning, one of the outstanding showmen in the sport, followed by the 1994 Olympic gold medalist in Lillehammer, Alexei Urmanov, back from a long year due to injury.
We ask the skaters to please clear
now, all the skaters receive money to appear here, but there is $75,000 for first, $50 for second, $40 for third, $30 for fourth. For Todd Eldredge, it's so often about just prestige. And the disappointment of Nagano, a silver medal won at the recent World Championships in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, will you please welcome Todd Eldredge.
And Sandra, he's going right back to the same short program that he used in Nagano and at the World Championships.
And I'm sure that is what he's thinking about right now. He made a small error at the World Championships that put him in 4th position and cost him the title. short program, 8 elements, do or die. He opens with his most difficult triple axel combination. It's where he made the mistake at Worlds. Triple double. Second most difficult element, the triple Lutz out of footwork. Beautiful.
Taken by the atmosphere in the Broome County Arena here.
It's an educated crowd. They know who and what they're watching. Nice death drop. Todd is probably the best spinner in this event. One more element, the combination spin.
Todd Eldredge gets our 3 hours of figure skating tonight off to a rousing start.
With an excellent performance. He was completely free and loose.
All these skaters that we'll see here, they're outstanding, durable performers. Their day started about 4 a.m. in Cleveland, Ohio. Short plane ride, then a bus here to Binghamton, New York. And Todd Eldredge looked fresh as those roses he's been receiving from the crowd.
Great job. Hey, great job. Excellent. Awesome.
Four sets of judges.
Todd set the course of this performance with a beautiful combination. Triple axel, double toe. Now, he may need a triple axel, triple toe loop in this event. There's the axel, and here's the double, and that may cost him a position. It depends on what the other men do.
Judges from Switzerland, Germany, Canada, Russia, and the United States. Early reaction to 5.8s across the board.
He set a very high standard with that performance.
5.8
for all the required elements, and likewise for presentation. You can't get much more consistent than that. Todd Eldredge back later. Now on center stage here in Binghamton, wearing one of those costumes that made him a name to remember before the Olympic gold medal, Ilya Kulik.
Give a warm welcome to Ilya Kulik.
And everybody wanted to know, why this? Why the yellow shirt? And he downplayed that. You know, he said the stuff about all my costumes and outfits is done. My skating talks.
But these wings represent the fact that he's playing the role of Icarus. Maybe trying to jump too close to the sun. And he opens with his combination. Triple with a slight stumble. A harder combination than Todd's, but slightly flawed. Triple Lutz. Wonderful footwork sequence. Shows his strength with edges and his versatility.
The rosy cheeks of the Olympic gold medalist Ilya Kulik. Getting used to his new life as the Olympic gold medalist. That's when things dramatically change.
And another well-skated short program, but not as free as Todd's, and you can see that even by the audience reaction.
Kulik scores are coming up. Meanwhile, Kurt Browning is on the ice, representing what is professional and what is next here in Binghamton. In Binghamton, New York, the Ultimate Four continues. Kurt Browning about to compete. He is rarely flat, but that's largely the feeling here for what Ilya Kulik did moments ago.
Marks for required elements for Ilya Kulik. 5.6.
And they're lower than Todd Eldredge.
5.8, 5.7.
Only 1.58 in the required elements.
And I think those reflect not only the jump, but also the overall performance. Todd was great and totally free.
5.7, 5.8.
Kulik will be second behind Todd Eldredge. All five judges rated Eldredge #1. Let's go to Beth Ruyak.
Ilya, I'm getting used to seeing you relaxed and nervous. Was there a bit of nervousness in tonight?
It was because short program, you know, it's always nervous. 8 elements, and I didn't skate it a while, you know, after I was withdrawal from my worlds. So
yeah, it seemed that you relaxed a little bit after the bobble on the triple-triple.
it wasn't really a bubble, so it was a little mistake, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
A quote-unquote little mistake in trying to hit the 8 required elements of the short program. It may not be a major thing for someone who's just coming off the amateur international scene, but for Kurt Browning a year ago in Boston in the Ultimate Four, matching up the 8 required elements was an extreme challenge, one where he absolutely missed and skipped the beat. He actually stopped in the middle of performing it, and all he could do was apologize to the crowd. An extreme professional like Kurt Browning is going to try and do everything in his power not to allow a repeat of a performance like that here in Binghamton, New York. I'm sorry, that's all he could say.
From Canada, please welcome Kurt Browning.
In a short practice for this upcoming performance, Kurt Browning stepped onto the ice and said, I hope the routine in my head matches the music I'm about to hear. And it's from Led Zeppelin.
I think think I know Kurt well enough to say that this man is nervous. He had a very skitterish warm-up. And he opens with his combination. Triple axel. He had that. He could have done that.
With his selling, he's even able to make the mistakes look passable.
Footwork into triple toe loop. A much easier triple than the other man. This is a new program for him. Music that he normally wears hockey skates to when he performs on tour.
Why is that?
He wears hockey skates in the show for this particular number. For fun. Every step of the way.
The judges here in Binghamton have spoken.
Well, he's kind of happy with that. But I know he's kicking himself over the triple axel combination because the first jump was gorgeous and there was no reason not to do the combination except nerves.
Kurt Browning always steals a few extra kisses.
The ISU rules require him to do a combination, and he did not even attempt a second jump. But look how high this triple axel is. It's perfect. Just slightly back, too open to do anything on the end of that. And that will be a 0.3, 0.4 deduction.
Did my ankle roll over when I landed? Something weird happened on the landing.
The ankle did roll over on that replay, and here's the required elements.
His left hip was open, which caused him to over-rotate the axle. I did not notice the ankle rolling over, but it could very well have because of his hip action.
5.9s that they like.
The second mark was for the audience.
And Kurt Browning is in third.
From Russia, please welcome Alexei Ormanov.
Alexei Ormanov, the 1994 gold medalist in Lillehammer. He's been out of action for a year, and we struggled a bit with the Russian translation, but it's a groin muscle problem, the best that we can tell. He's been to doctors all over the world. The best he said that any doctor could tell him other than rest were some painkillers. There are certain movements that he has extreme difficulty in making. And this is a business for him. He says, you know what? I haven't had my job for a year. And so he still is living with mom back in Russia.
was devastating for him to miss the Olympics this year. And now his first time back, this is his moment to say, I'm here. Opening with his combination. Beautiful triple-double. Same difficulty as Todd's. Triple Lutz.
Probably is not a sporting event in America that doesn't have this song played in its arena every night.
His final element, the combination spin. Another excellent performance.
He looks like he is thrilled to be back and performing. And that was a bit of a statement performance.
What an accomplishment for him. To have not competed for a year and to step on the ice for the first time and skate perfectly.
Backstage, Todd Eldredge might be saying, I've got my work cut out for me.
And he was solid from the get-go. Look at this combination, just great height, perfect body line. He could have tripled that second jump, but a nice double.
The marks for required elements for Alexei Ormanov.
Well, he's breathing hard.
5.6, 5.7,
His fitness level probably one of the last things to come back. 5'6" the low, 5'9" the high.
5'6" a little low for me, but jump for jump, he pretty much matched Todd, but where Todd was better was in his spins and in his overall performance.
Large disparity. The Swiss judge 5'5", the Russian judge a 5'9". In total, Alexei Ormanov will be now in second place behind Todd Eldredge. So it's Eldredge, Ormanov, Kulik, and then Kurt Browning. And that's the way we stand.
They think I'm Ilya.
Kurt, I do not think they're having a case of mistaken identity, nor will they have any sort of misinterpretation of who stars in the women's competition to come. The Olympic silver medalist and two-time world champion, Michelle Kwan, coming up.
I've heard a lot of silver medalists say I couldn't look at my medal for, 17 years, and I just couldn't bear looking at it. But for me, I think I have a secret bond to my medal. I've looked at it a million times, and every time I look back, it shows the what I've done in my skating, and I feel proud, very proud. I look at it and I get flashbacks of when I was young, starting skating. They gave me a box that has, you open it up and it has the Olympic symbol on it, and it has 1998 on it, and then it's very beautiful. It opens up, and it's blue velvet box, and I just have it right next to my bed. To stay amateur and to be in the same level, you can't lack any of the desire and everything that put you up there. You gotta keep it moving, letting it go. It's just like a wave. I gotta be strong. I've gotta want to do this. And, you know, I don't think it's gonna be hard because I love skating and I wanna be there in 2002 and I'm willing to work hard.
And so Michelle Kwan reconciles that one night in her life when she didn't stumble nor fall, but fell victim to the almost imperceptible tenths of a point difference that sometimes separates the gold and the silver medal champions on that given day. And now we turn to the ladies' short program as they begin their competition. We're going to see Michelle Kwan and the silver and bronze medalists in the most recent World Championships, plus Yuka Sato of Japan, another former world champion. We are not going to see the Tara Lipinski-Michelle Kwan rematch. It appears as though in a judged competition like this, we'll never see that again.
Tara has chosen to turn professional and not compete in the ISU events. She's doing her professional debut in a rock and roll competition where she will be judged by celebrities.
Now, Tara could have been here. I mean, this is a pro-amateur event, but she wants to avoid that possible tarnishing of the gold medal at any cost.
I don't think anything Tara could do would spoil that performance at the Olympics, and this is about Tara wanting to move on with her life. Michelle, on the other hand, has decided to stay in the ISU stream of competitions.
These athletes as well receive money to appear here in Binghamton, New York. There's also prize money, $75,000 for the winner, 50 for second, 40 for third, and 30 for fourth. Yuka Sato will be followed by Maria Budurskaya, Irina Slutskaya of Russia, Michelle Kwan of the United States. Yuka Sato is a one-time world champion who once turned pro and won that title as well. Now she's one of the most refined performers in the world, frequently performing with Midori Ito in her native Japan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first competitor from Japan, Yuka Sato.
Wonderful speed and flow. She opens with her combination, triple loop combination. Little squeaky on the landing of the double toe loop.
Sandra, sometimes she has so much flow and she makes it look so easy that it looks as though she's not pushing herself.
She flies. She has wonderful knees. They're soft. Triple Salchow.
little wobble at the end, and she seems to be wincing at that, but pretty smooth, no?
Not as secure a performance as I'm used to from Yuka. Although she landed all her jumps, she struggled with them. Also, we have to remember that technically, the difficulty in her jumps are not as great as the other women in this competition, which will automatically lower her base mark. She opened with her combo, the triple loop, double toe loop combination.
Oh my God.
And watch how she struggles with the flow on that landing. No set deduction for that. And then her third jump element, the double axel. This was almost what we call a waxel, where you take off on the heel, and she really had a wild landing on that.
So a wild axel becomes a waxel.
The marks for required elements for Yuka Sato.
And now the marks for Yuka Sato, the first set, the required elements, and they range from a 5-4 to a 5-6. That's not a grand range of dispute.
And those reflect the fact that she did triple salchows and triple loops as opposed to lutzes and flips.
Presentation received much better by the judges. And Yuka Sato sets the bar. She's the first of the 4 to go. And next up, from Russia,
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from
Maria
Russia,
Budrskaya. She had the unenviable position of skating after Tara Lipinski and Michelle Kwan at the Olympic Games in Nagano. But with all the pullouts at the World Championships, she was able to take advantage and grab a medal following Michelle Kwan in Minneapolis.
And this is the short program she's skated all season to Fever. Opening with her most difficult combination of triple lutz. Struggled on the landing of the double toe. 0.1 deduction.
Watched her fall at that exact same spot 2 or 3 times during practice earlier today. Obviously, she wasn't able to work it out in practice. As we mentioned, these skaters are in the midst of a grueling schedule. They left Cleveland, Ohio early this morning, shortly before 5 a.m.
Double axel, that pretty much puts her out of the picture.
Sandra, for the better part of 5 years, Maria's been so consistent, never finished in a major competition below 5th. She won the European Championships, 4th at the Olympics. What's the difference? Why can't she get to that top spot?
Well, she's been consistent with her placings, but not with her performances. She has not been known to be a strong competitor.
From Moscow, 25-year-old Maria Budrskaya.
What Maria has struggled with in the past is giving 2 strong performances in one competition. She may do well in the short program, play 2nd or 3rd, and then drop in the long, or vice versa. She was so close at the Olympics, but Lu Chen edged her out for the bronze.
Liu Chen has gone back to college.
And here's her triple Lutz combination. Nice height on the triple Lutz. Good position for the double toe, but not enough flow out of that landing. And her second required jump is the footwork sequence into the triple loop. Triple loop is considered to be a pretty hard jump amongst skaters because it takes off and lands on the same foot. Too open on the landing and unable to control it.
Very low marks in the required elements. And as Sandra tipped us up, no surprise there. 5.2 to a 5.4. Now the presentation. And those are a lot better. 5.8 with the 1.56 from the American judge. She still will be second behind Yuka Sato. Can Michelle Kwan challenge their marks? We shall see in a moment as we continue from Binghamton, New York in the 1998 Ultimate Four. The 1998 Ultimate Four continues from Binghamton, New York. I'm Al Trautwig along with Sandra Bezic and Beth Ruyak. We've seen the men's short program. The women's short program continues now. Later, more of these same skaters in the interpretive free skate. This is Irina Slutskaya of Russia. We just watched Maria Budorskaya perform and have a problem in two very obvious elements. These two have had quite a rivalry in the European and Russian championships over the past few years. Silver medalist at the World Championships in Minneapolis.
Young talent with a feisty personality, and she's a terrific jumper. Opening with her combination. Not tonight. Very difficult entrance into that triple loop. The back double three, so taking off the 1 foot.
They liked what they saw, but much less than the ultimate for the first three women who are setting the stage for Michelle Kwan to come in here and take over the competition.
But even with that mistake, it was a well-skated performance. And I like the mischievous choreography because it really portrays her personality. She has wonderful spring in her knees and gets terrific height, almost too much height, too far forward on the landing and unable to do much except the double after the Lutz.
Thank you very much.
Here's a closer look at the edge, towing in. And watch how far forward she is on this landing and the wrapped free leg that causes her to do almost a back spiral, impossible to jump immediately. So there is a deduction there.
But does she save something by not going down and touching with her hand?
Yes, she does, and she also saves something by doing that double on the end, even after an extra step.
All right, so we wait now for the marks. Looks as though they're going to move Slutskaya into the lead. Now Michelle Kwan is warming up as the crowd awaits the announcement. That's just a first glance as they are revealed on the computer and not official in any sense.
Hello, everybody.
English is great. I hope you can see her rosy cheeks as well. Here are the required element scores, and even across the board, 3 5.6s and 2 5.5s. And this is going to move her, yes, into first place over Yuka Sato and Maria Budrskaya. The presentation is higher, 5.7s and 3 5.8s.
Even with the error, the overall quality of the performance was good.
4 of the 5 judges also rated her to be in first after the first 3 women. Now here's Michelle Kwan. Her father is there. He's going to do the coaching.
Frank Carroll, her coach, is unable to attend this event. So this is the first time Michelle will be skating without a real coach. I'm sure she feels good about having her father standing there.
Again, this competition comes in the midst of a national tour. It's like a day-to-day, different city, living out of a suitcase kind of existence right now for most of these figure skaters. She gets a huge ovation. They obviously, as she hopefully will for the rest of her life, view that as a silver medal won, not as a silver medal that means anything in terms of a loss.
Skating what has become her signature short program to Rachmaninoff. She opens with her combination, the triple Lutz. Picture perfect. Next element, the spiral sequence that sets Michelle apart. Watch how she changes her edge.
up on their feet here in Binghamton, New York.
That was completely and totally perfect and inspired.
Dad did a good job.
Great coaching.
Kurt Browning was sitting alongside us here in the front row watching. He gave it a big thumbs up about halfway through.
And also one of the first to get up on his feet for the standing ovation.
Well, there's a symbol of her new TV deal.
I think this room full of fans will disagree with her.
5.8.
She's not working alone here. No.
No way.
5 9s, 3 of those, 2 5/8s.
What I find so impressive is that she has been able to perform like that all season. Yes, absolutely. They should all be 6s.
Michelle Kwan moves into first.
I know that you came in here tired, but you just pulled off a beautiful program.
Thank you. My short program was a lot of fun, and the crowd was amazing. I mean, you can just listen to them, and really exciting, really exciting.
No coach here tonight. Did that make a difference?
A little bit. Usually I have Frank, tell me when to put my skates on, tell me when to go on the ice, so then I don't have to worry about it. Now it's like all up to me, so.
Hey, Frank, she's still getting 6s. You got to notice that.
Gotta come back. Help!
See you later, Michelle.
All right, Beth, it's Michelle Kwan in first, and all 5 judges placed her there, no surprise. Slutskaya of Russia second, Sato of Japan third, Budurskaya of Russia is in fourth. But of course, in an event like this, what they say is, that was great, now do it again later. Upcoming, it's the pairs in Binghamton, New York. In pairs, the word of power is Russia. One woman can say, I'm the Olympic champion. The other, I'm the world. Since they are so close in a competition like this, they and their men can fight it out. 2.5 weeks ago, Kyoko Ina and Jason Dungeon were part of this world best mix when her spinning elbow fractured his skull above the eye, and their world championships ended before they began. They're back and surviving that same move, but only in last place in this Ultimate 4. Jenny Mino and Todd Sand are also Americans that are hoping to rise up. Before they decided to turn pro, they were crowned second best in the world. After the short program here, they are third. So, as was said, the passport to the podium lies with him and a coach who listens to the beat that brings a song of solid gold. But for all the strength reputation brings, in their latest presentation, Kazakova and Dmitriev stumbled a bit and are number 2 after a short program that was a bit short. Their compatriots, Bereznaya and Sigurlitsa, are in first place, representing a partnership based on loving trust and world championship gold. Their short program spins, made possible by razor-sharp skates, ripped open a bootstrap, but never frayed their concentration. Now they have the lead and can skate for the title. Set for the pairs, here's a check of the standings in Binghamton, New York at the Broome County Arena. Bereznaya and Sigurlitsa, Kazakova and Dmitriev, Mino and Sand, Ina and Dungeon in fourth. Analyzing the numbers, only the top 3 pairs have a chance here. For example, if Mino and Sand can claim this free skate, they can win the 1998 Ultimate 4. It will be another day of disappointment for Ina and Dungeon. After that fractured skull received in preparation for the World Championships, he's been bothered by headaches, at times unable to eat, backstage telling Beth Ruyak he's lost 10 pounds. The doctors have said it would be better if you don't skate. But then again, he said, this is my job. This is what I do.
and butterfly. Although this is the interpretive competition, the judges are looking for technical difficulty, such as this side-by-side double axel. Very nicely done, and something that must be very difficult for him to do, the rotation, because of his headaches. Next element, the split double twist, is the move that they had the injury on just 3 weeks ago.
Now you can certainly see how that could happen. Well, it started uniquely. He didn't move for the first 20 seconds. How much does the fall in the middle hurt?
The throw triple loop is an extremely difficult throw, and it is unfortunate because it was their hardest element in the program. That will definitely reflect in the technical mark. They've only been on the ice 8 days since the injury, and Jason was saying that he felt so tentative in the short program, and I think that feeling carried over to the long.
They were forced to withdraw from the World Championships, and that was the story of that competition, as only 4 of the 12 Olympic medalists actually took part in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Here's a split double twist where they had their injury. Now, if the lady does not get enough height, what happens is when she's rotating, her elbows stick out and nail the man. And every single pair who's ever done that has had that injury.
Since she gets her height from his toss, it's almost partially his fault, right?
It's always a combination. And here's the throw triple loop. They always get such great height, but this was slightly under-rotated, and she was unable to get the free leg out.
The marks for skating techniques for Hugh and Jason Tuncheon.
And with that fall right in front of the judges, here are the marks. First for technical merit, 5.5s with the 1.56 from the American judge.
This is a difficult competition to prepare for because the rules are structured around amateur rules, but then the number of elements are restricted. So they're not allowed to do any show moves, but they're also not allowed to do as much as they do at the Olympics.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, please welcome Jenny Mino and Todd Sam.
They came together in 1992, went to Lillehammer, and that's when love really bloomed. They got engaged and now married. They are the silver medalists, the reigning world silver medalists.
program is specially choreographed for this event. They did it for the first time last year here, opening with the side-by-side double axel. Are only allowed one throw at this event, and this is theirs, the throw double axel. You should change that to a single.
Jenny Mino and Todd Sand. In a difficult spot facing Kozakova, Dmitriev, Berezhnaya, and Sigerlitsa. They do some very, very difficult moves. You might sit at home and say, well, it looks dangerous. The fact of the matter is, it is.
Pair skating is always dangerous, and it's built on a lot of trust. But these programs are technically pared down from the Olympics and Worlds, not because of the skaters, but because of the rules. But what that does is allows the skaters to do more choreography in between the elements, and that is where Todd and Jenny shine. But what I think they did need at this event was a throw double axel, and here they've chosen to do a single. And that this will definitely reflect in their technical mark.
Good action. Good one.
Pairs were allowed 3 lifts, and this is their signature lift, the forward press. And watch this dismount. It's called the swoop.
What do you need?
The marks for skating techniques for Jenny Mino
And the 3-time medalists in the World Championships. Watch the technical merit marks roll across.
Todd and Jenny had such a disappointing Olympics, and after winning the silver medal at the World Championships and this performance now, they can safely say that they've had a great season after all.
That moves them now into first place ahead of Ina and Dungeon, but of course still to come. Kozakova, Dmitriev, the gold medalists of the Olympics, Berezhnaya and Sigerlitsa, the pair that was in first at the end of the short program. It is extremely doubtful that Artur Dmitriev will visit the Sushi A Go-Go here in Binghamton, New York. While sampling that food in Minneapolis, Minnesota, he came down with food poisoning, and it cost them the very, very rare chance and real chance to be the Olympic gold medalists and world champions in the same year. They are second entering this free skate.
And this program is a slightly pared-down version of their Olympic program.
Sandra, he's won a gold medal with two different partners. What is it that makes him so good for as unique as accomplishment as that was?
His passion and his ability to rise to the occasion.
See a miscue like that from these two.
It looked as though Oksana could not decide between doing a double or a triple and opened in midair.
Mino and Sand are most interested in that turn of events. Oksana Kazakova and Artur Dmitriev, and you know with that look in each other's eyes, what happened?
Well, they know they had one horrible mistake, but it didn't really seem to take away from the level of their performance. Their program technically was more difficult than Jenny and Todd's, and it was more detailed choreographically. I'm not quite sure what the judges are going to do with this. When you're doing a throw triple sal, there is no room for hesitation. Her right leg did not come through, and she was not able to pull in and rotate. Opened up going forward, and there's no recovery from that.
Kazakova and Dmitriev now are about to see the scores. Jenny Mino and Todd Sand are waiting to see whether their standing is affected, whether they can hold on to first place. Technical merit 5.7s with a 5.8 from the German judge. And the presentation.
These are solid technical marks. It will be the next mark of whether the judges reward Mino and Sand for their overall performance.
5.6 there, and only one 5.8. So Mino and Sand have held on to first place. There's Tamara Moskvina, the highly esteemed coach of both this pair, and Elena Bereznaya and Anton Sigerlitze. Four of the 5 judges have placed Mino and Sand in first after that third performance. Only the Russian judge placed Kazakova and Dmitriev in first place. And so Mino and Sand hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen from Russia, please give a warm welcome to
last
Yelena
pair.
Bereznaya and Anton
I'd love to know how
Sigerlitze.
Tamara plays this. I mean, to have pairs up against each other like this, back to back, first and second, and it happens whenever they meet in competition. It is their lead to hold on to.
One of her teams is the veteran, and they are the teachers, in a way, of this team, and that's how Tamara handles it. Opening with the biggest split triple twist. Only a double. Artur and Dmitriev. Very nice side-by-side double axel, double toe loop combination. This pair has a wonderful sense of flight and gorgeous throws. Throw triple Salchow. Beautiful. This program, called Dark Eyes, is also a pared-down version of their Olympic program.
Theirs is one of sport's most unique stories. Hers, one of the most endearing comeback tales you'll ever hear. A fractured skull and a spin with a former partner, and she had this man at her bedside as she recuperated. Her reflexes were gone. The doctor said she may never be able to skate again. He whisked her away from her hospital bed in Latvia, brought her back to St. Petersburg, where he constantly and every day was part of her recuperation. Now all that's left is to just fix a little problem she has with her speech. And her Russian mates simply say, "Oh, it sounds as though you have an American accent with your Russian." It's impossible not to root for these two, Elena Bereznaya and Anton Sigurlidze. They did not have the major mistake like Kazakova and Dmitriev. Meanwhile, Mino and Sand want to know, did we win this thing?
Although Anton and Elena have only been together two years, they are the most exquisite pair, and that performance was beautiful. What I love about their skating is their sense of speed and flight, and technically, it was perfect. Their throw triple salve, probably the deciding factor. But this pair, when they are on, is head and shoulders above any other. Probably the most talented since Gordiev and Grinkov.
Outstanding marks. The Ordinals across the board placed them all in first. Mino and Sand second.
Anton, Elena, what a year it has been as you carried her off. I think so many people thought about how the story has happened, that you have picked her up and carried her back into the skating world. What has the year meant to you?
Oh, толком не понял. You know, my partner for me it's like diamond. And I must keep her and have a big attention for her, and I'm every time worried about her. And here it's just my feeling. It's just hard.
Al, as I throw it back to you, just look at Elena's eyes and those smile, and that tells it all. Congratulations to the two of you.
Thanks.
Beth Tamara Moskvina, their coach, told Anton, "Elena is your precious vase. She has been cracked now and put back together. Next time it will happen much more easily," and so he protects her with that in mind. Bereznaya and Sigurlidze win the 1998 Ultimate Four. Still to come, we're back to the men's interpretive free skate. The top two, Todd Eldredge of the United States, and the wild card, the man who's been out for a year, Alexei Urmanov. Kurt Browning is the pro of pros. Ilya Kulik of Russia just won the gold of golds. Tonight, their careers cross paths.
I'm so excited to compete with Kurt Browning. He always was my star.
10 years ago, Browning delivered the first ever quadruple jump in competition.
While I was a kid, I watched everything and I was so excited. Next day, I just ran in on my ice rink and started pushing myself because I was so excited about that competition.
Kulik was that young Soviet who watched Browning 10 years ago, and he wound up doing the quad himself in the Olympic Games. But tonight, as he faced that man and his reputation for a first time, he missed ever so slightly in the short program. But not all is well for his idol either, as Kurt Browning had a less than idyllic trip around the rink. So as they look upon the standings, they see someone else delivering a comeback surprise. His name is Alexei Urmanov, lost to injury for more than a year. He somehow, from a St. Petersburg rink, forsaken by the years, has rediscovered an Olympic gold medal touch. And in a place far from St. Petersburg, finds himself in second place, poised to make a move. The man who sits atop the list then is Todd Eldredge, who, skating a short program that failed him before, didn't miss this time. 1998 Ultimate Four continues now from a sold-out Broome County Arena in Binghamton, New York. Some consider to be in the locker room at halftime with the lead a luxury. Others consider it pressure. How will Todd Eldredge handle the situation which is his? And what of Ilya Kulik and Kurt Browning? They are not part of the top two. And of those two men, dare we use the word quad? Let's go to Beth Ruyak.
So, Al, the question is, will they or won't they? And Kurt Browning says, yes, he will. He tried 2 quadruple jumps in practice earlier today, landed one solidly, and says since he's in 4th place, it's worth the risk. Ilya Kulik, on the other hand, says no, he's not going to try it. He hasn't been training it for the past 3 weeks. He's had a pinched nerve in his back, and he says he'll rely tonight on his triples. Todd Eldredge, though, is in the lead right now, and even though he does a quad in practice, he does not do it in competition. You won't see him try it tonight. His coach, Richard Callahan, says, though, Todd is finally, again, since the Olympic disappointment, enjoying his skating, and very much, Al, looking forward to winning this competition tonight.
How interesting. Separated by a decade, their famous quads playing a factor in the 1998 Ultimate Four. Here's the men's skate order. Kurt Browning will go first. Then it's Ilya Kulik. They finish 4th and 3rd, respectively. Eldredge and Urmanov in a draw. They flip. Eldredge is first, but he'll skate 3rd. Urmanov is 2nd, but he will skate 4th. And now there's great anticipation. I don't know that anyone in the arena could possibly guess that they're about to see Kurt Browning attempt to try a quad jump in an effort to win. But we mentioned his competitive spirit. What do I have to do to win? Do I need a quad? Do I need to be perfect? Yes. Okay, I'll do it.
Several weeks ago, someone reminded him that it was his 10th anniversary of landing the quad to the day, and he landed it in performance that night. Ever since, he has been landing them, so anything's possible.
All right, this is part of the cool of Kurt Browning.
The program is called Antares. It was written especially for him by the group The Tragically Hip. A little flirt with the judges.
Why should they be left out?
And now here we go, the triple axel. One down. And now, if he's going to do it, it'll be right here. Quad toe loop. Pretty close. Slight 2-foot.
Let the old man come in here and do a quad, and he won't even go for it.
As long as that attempted quad does not affect his program, he's already left out one spin, and he needs every technical element in this program to pull up from 4th. Triple Sal. Triples in this competition. Kurt's only done 2 so far. And that's third. Triple toe loop. But the judges are going to consider this footwork as hard as any triple jump.
Candelora's got nothing on him.
Candeloro learned it from him.
It's hard to imagine that Kurt Browning can be happier than when he's out there doing this. Seems to be what he was born to do.
He knows how to get himself pumped. He knows how to work himself into a place where he can perform and give every ounce of his energy. And he does it over and over again. And he loves his audience as much as they love him.
Well, we wait to see how this was viewed. This is over near the judges now.
The thing about competing when you turn professional is it's so important to these skaters because it keeps the edge. Kurt knew he was facing Kulik, and he knew he needed a quad, and here it is. And oh baby, it was a close one. Slight 2-foot landing, slight touch. But what an attempt for an old guy.
How do you not admire that he went for it?
Couldn't hear the first 10 seconds of my program. Couldn't hear it at all. I started 10 to 12 seconds late.
He's just saying he could not hear the first 10 seconds of his program. The level of the music was too low. He said he started 10 seconds too late and played catch-up. And that is one of the reasons why he missed that spin there that I mentioned earlier.
And what he's most upset about, you correct me if I'm wrong, is that the show didn't go right because of that.
That's right.
He's not worried about the marks at that point.
No, 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 no. He wants to give his best performance. That's what it's all about.
This is my coach.
5.8. 5.8.
All right, he likes those. 5.8 for the 5.7.
You like it? He likes it.
The marks for presentation. 5.8.
He's got a hip coach.
5.8.
2 5.9s.
5.9.
He's still got the fire in his belly.
Kulik says he will not respond to the quad. Let's go to Beth Ruyak.
You want to sit with me?
I want to sit with you. Al, here I am. What are you saying about the music? Everybody else is saying you went for the quad.
I'll tell you what happened. The crowd was so loud and my music starts so soft. I actually started my program 10 to 12 seconds into it. So I had to, the triple axel was 7 or 8 seconds late. The quad toe, I didn't even go back to center ice to line it up. I had to start right from here. I had to leave out parts and wait for the music to catch up to me. It was like, it was hard to enjoy it because of what happened at the beginning.
All that, and did you see that instant standing ovation?
Were they? Oh, well, that's great. This crowd is fantastic. If anyone gets a 5.9 tonight, it's like, I mean, my earlier 5.9s, that was the audience, not me, that got that mark.
It was a great performance. Thank you very much. Good to see you again, Kurt.
Thanks.
Back to you, Al.
Well, Kurt Browning has added an element of drama in this Ultimate 4 competition.
And now, ladies and gentlemen from Russia, please give a warm welcome to Ilya Kulik.
And I guess it is the destiny of this 20-year-old Russian to always step on the ice wearing something that gets your attention. The Olympic gold medalist, third after the short program.
And he is skating to Pagliacci. Opening with a triple axel. Tonneau triple Lutz. Called a Tonneau because of the arm raised over his head and made especially difficult for that reason.
The happiness and bitter sadness from any opera, the black, the white, the good, the bad of it, in Ilya Kulik's performance today. And there's been much discussion backstage with the Russian skaters and their coaches about how the Russians go the theatrical route. When they hear a piece of music, they want to be the performer. Let masculinity be damned. They want to wear the appropriate costume. I think, however, and this is me asking you, is there not a point where the costume becomes flamboyant, where it detracts from the skating?
Well, I agree with that. I do believe that this costume does detract, but I think we're having a cultural collision here because the Russians take their inspiration from the stage, from the opera stage, and this is perfectly normal on the opera stage. And for the better part, the North Americans take their inspiration from pop culture. So we're not about to put that kind of costume on a competitive stage without theatrical lighting, and I think that that is the collision. On the other hand, Ilya just went out and skated a beautiful performance with 4 fantastic triple jumps. Everything perfect, methodical, calculated, and superb.
The marks for skating techniques for Ilya Kulik.
So much.
5.7, 5.7.
Lots of groans in the crowd. Now, they frequently make announcements that there are sometimes deductions that the crowd may not understand.
Well, now, he did do the 4 beautiful jumps, but his footwork was not as difficult as Kurt's, nor his spins, and clearly the judges preferred Kurt's choreography.
Well, how about that? Kurt Browning is in front of Ilya Kulik. The judges like what Browning did, and all 5 have placed him in front of Kulik with 2 more to go. Todd Eldredge and Alexei Urmanov, 1 and 2 after the short program, still to come in Binghamton as the Ultimate Four continues. The women are still to come. We have come down to the final 2 men here at the 1998 Ultimate Four, the place, the Broome County Arena, Binghamton, New York. It may seem unfair, but the fact of the matter is Todd Eldredge's figure skating career will seem more like a summary of missteps than home runs. About the only thing that he can do to change the perception of that is to take all the opportunities that lie before him and grab them with as firm a grasp as he possibly can. Here, he is in a fabulous position, in first place after the short program. Now the interpretive free skate with Alexei Urmanov still to come. How will he deal with the prosperity?
Because this is the interpretive portion of the competition, the judges are first looking at the musicality and the choreography, but there still has to be technical ability, and that was a beautiful triple axel.
Another standing ovation. We've got a new figure skating hotbed, and it's Binghamton, New York. And you've got to love it. From the time you're 5, you try to avoid falling, and then in the middle of the routine, you fall on purpose.
But it's fun to slide down the ice when you're doing it on purpose. And it was another wonderful performance here, Al. But was it enough? He made one mistake. He doubled one triple.
Alexei Urmanov is the last of the ultimate 4 men to skate. He was second coming into this interpretive skate. Now the marks are going up. One by one, the judges punch them into the computer, and when every one of the 5 judges has entered the 2 marks, then they're posted for all to see. Kurt Browning was first after Kulik had gone.
Well, but they had it loud at the beginning and it broke up. It was weird, yeah.
And he's talking about some music problems as well. And Todd Eldredge.
The marks for skating techniques for Todd Eldredge. 5.8.
Gets 2 first place ordinals from the judges. 3 still for Browning. But Eldredge's short program is going to
5.9.
push him to the top over Kurt Browning. 2 5.9s.
5.9 and 5.8.
There you see how the judges viewed him. Now Browning could still win the free skate, which would be a moral victory for him considering he's returning to the land of the judged. This is a competition in which there is money involved, remember. $75,000 for the winner, 50 in second, 40 in third, 30 in fourth. And I bring that up because Alexei Romanov has been out of the mix, in his words, out of a job for a year. Back in Russia, he's still living with his mom. This is an opportunity to restore his reputation and his bank account.
It was huge, and it was like this. I landed and I went way over. I was like...
Eldredge and Browning are part of a much interested audience.
Before he does his triple axel, a warm up with a triple toe.
Now, I don't know what has happened. Yeah, that's an unfortunate break in the music.
Spotted something on the ice. They're leaning over the board and there's boards and they're saying that they see something on the ice. Perhaps a piece of one of the flowers that have been thrown over. Oh, and it's so close to the boards too. What a shame to interrupt his performance like this. He'd probably never skate that close to the boards, but the judges have to stop it.
Well, it's in interest of his safety, of course.
Yes, I know.
Is that okay?
Judges have no choice but to stop the performance.
Now, is he allowed a break?
Came from right over my head.
They will allow him to catch his breath.
It's supposed to go up ice, you know, and settle down.
Well, sort of a timeout.
But how infuriating. And when you
it's one of those situations. I mean, you're frustrated, but you can't be mad because it is what it is. And
no, but as a performer,
whatever
I'm
frustration.
disappointed for him because he was right there, and now he has to get back to that place that he was 2 minutes ago.
Whatever frustration you feel has to be displaced from what you'd feel if you did get hurt. Well, these comebacks aren't easy, are they?
With another triple toe loop. This time a little shaky.
any way for the judges to cut him slack because of what happened, or do they have to treat the false start as if it never occurred?
I think they're supposed to treat the false start as though it never happened, but they're human beings. They know what's going on, so that they are going to cut him some slack. It's natural. We all have. And that was a double.
So a deduction.
Not a deduction, because there are no deductions in the interpretive portion of the competition, but he will definitely not win with this performance.
Alexei Urmanov, the Russian, back from a long absence. The unfortunate false start.
Well, he's got to be happy with that performance because it was a wonderful reintroduction to the world of competitive figure skating. However, I really wish he had not had that false start because he was so on, and I would have loved to have seen the first program and what may have happened, because with this performance, I could see that his shoulders were slightly up. There was a slight tension on his face that wasn't there the first time.
You saw Kurt Browning say congratulations to Todd Eldredge. He knows the deal. Now the numbers are being posted. Interestingly, you're about to see that the Russian judge is going to give the Russian skater 2 5.9s. Meanwhile, the other judges will be more prominent with 5.6s, 5.7s, and 5.8s. Todd Eldredge is going to get 1 first-place ordinal. Kurt Browning, 3.
5.6.
Urmanov
5.6.
doesn't want to get off the ice. I think he's so happy to be out there competing. He doesn't want to get off and sit in the kiss and cry.
And the marks for presentation.
Russian judge second from the right with the 2 5.9s.
5.6.
Urmanov is actually going to finish in 4th place. Let's go down to Beth Ruyak with the champion.
Todd? Oh, looks like you did it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. It was a great night. You know, the short program went well, and this program went pretty well for me, so I was real happy.
You are the expert at the ups and downs of things, and after all of this, what do you think makes the difference? Why is it that it's free and happy again?
Well, I think after training for Worlds went really well, and the competition at Worlds was really good, and I think that really helped my confidence. And, you know, I think I'm just a lot happier skating now and having a lot more fun doing it.
And you had some decent competition tonight, too?
Not too shabby. A couple Olympic gold medalists and world champions, you know.
That's
not too bad.
Oh, it's great to see you doing well. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks.
So Kurt Browning wins the free skate. But based on the back-to-back performances in the short program and what we just witnessed, Todd Eldredge is the winner here of the Ultimate Four. He'll win $75,000. Kurt Browning, $50,000, $40,000 for Ilya Kulik, and $30,000 for Alexei Urmanov. Earlier, we asked a question of Todd Eldredge, and now we ask the same of Michelle Kwan. Given the lead, can she hold it? We're back in a moment. Right now, let's say Michelle Kwan is the most famous person in Binghamton, New York. There are 3 other women trying to be or not to be. Maria Budorskaya couldn't stand up to the pressure of Michelle Kwan. Hard as rock. Yuka Sato is graceful, smooth, but not explosive enough to dance to the winning beat. And Irina Slutskaya may be cute, but when the pot's full of money and the cards are on the table, don't try to win with a look. Win with the goods. This is the Ultimate Four, and earlier tonight in the short program, Michelle Kwan took the lead. So now she is the proverbial leader, looking to shut the other 3 out, in effect saying, "Get out of my face." Here are the standings heading into this interpretive free skate. Michelle Kwan was virtually unanimous from the 5 judges. She is in first. Irina Slutskaya of Russia is in second. There was only one number that was flip-flopped in terms of how the judges felt these 4 women should finish. Yuka Sato of Japan third, and Maria Budorskaya fourth. So it is Michelle Kwan's near unanimous standing in first position to win this Ultimate Four in Binghamton, New York. We mentioned how her father, in the absence of Frank Carroll, is her coach. After being on camera through the short program and actually being asked for an autograph, he has sought the refuge of the upper deck.
But we still found him.
So that's Danny Kwan, who'll watch proudly with his faraway view as his daughter goes to win this competition. Now here's the skate order. Yuka Sato will be the first performer. Then it'll be Maria Budorskaya. And then once again, the draw for the top 2 puts Michelle Kwan third, and then Irina Slutskaya of Russia fourth. All skaters have been asked to leave the ice, except for Yuka Sato, of course.
And now it's time for the ladies' competition. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Japan our first competitor, Yuka Sato.
Third entering the free skate. One-time world champion, one-time professional champion, right after she turned pro back in 1995.
Yuka is a delightful skater, and she opens with a triple toe loop, a double,
So how does that happen? Did she think before this performance that she would go double instead of triple, or did it happen in progress?
It happened the moment she put her toe into the ice. But that was a triple loop. Women are only allowed to execute 3 triples at this event. At the Olympics, you're more likely to see 6 or 7.
So is it reduced here to level the playing field?
Yes. So that more attention is paid to choreography and musicality.
That's got to feel cool to be able to spin around like that. The punctuation mark on the performance of Japan's Yuka Sato.
Yuka will not be pleased with that performance at all. She's capable of much better.
So Yuka Sato brightens up the competition here in Binghamton. She just won't win it. When we come back, we'll hear her scores. Plus, what's this all about right now for Michelle Kwan? Nothing except a mind game. Her performance coming up.
It was so good at the warm-up.
Here in Binghamton, New York, we're to the ladies' competition of the 1998 Ultimate Four. Yuka Sato has been judged, and she gets 5.6s across the board in terms of technical merit. Now the numbers for presentation.
Are 5.8,
nothing diminishing her smile. 3 5/8s, 2 5/7s. And Yuka Sato sets a relatively low bar for the other women to try and jump over. Next up is Maria Budorskaya of Russia. She's like the can't-miss kid. For the last few years, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. She finally won a medal at the recent World Championships, but at the Olympics, she was the one who skated after Tara Lipinski had captured the arena in Nagano, Japan. She wasn't able to beat that emotion. She wasn't able to get into the medals, finishing 4th. Let's see what she does here. She's in the same spot entering this free skate in 4th position.
With a triple Lutz. And a beautiful one. And you can tell with the aggressiveness that she had going into that jump that she was angry with her short program performance. This is a different woman from the short program just a few hours ago.
And if you were a coach, you'd be trying to figure out how she went from the first to this.
What happens is she gets angry. She goes out, she's nervous at first, skates poorly, gets angry, skates like this.
And this has complicated the lives of the two women still to come, Irina Slutskaya and Michelle Kwan of the United States. Now, Michelle, like the other skaters, has had her day begin like 17 or 18 hours ago. So this is a test of stamina, will, and ability as the arena quiets now and we await the scores of Maria Budorskaya. So the free skate, a far cry from what we saw in the short program when Michelle Kwan blew away the competition. All 5 judges voted her the best when that was done. Now, here are her scores. First, technical merit.
This is the perfect format for Maria because it was not so technically demanding that she could reach it and skate her best. And she's an aspiring choreographer, so she was able to show all the in-between, all the choreography and the spins.
She was looking at the numbers with very passionate eyes, it appeared, and then she shook her appreciation at the scores, which put her in front of Yuka Sato. And now it's up to Michelle Kwan. Remember, last we saw, Father Danny was in the upper deck. He's going to do a long-distance coaching job for this one.
Well, there's nothing anyone can do now except Michelle. It's in her hands, and she knows exactly what to do.
From the United States,
he knows, she knows, he's here.
Dante's Prayer by Lorena McKinnon. And what is so exquisite about this program is that the jumps are meshed within the choreography.
Fragile is the heart. Give these clay feet wings to fly, to touch the face of the stars. Give life to this freedom heart.
sellout crowd came to see Michelle Kwan be beautiful and near perfect like she was at the Olympics and the World Championships. She gave them what they wanted to see.
The best kind of choreography takes you on an emotional ride. Michelle Kwan made us feel something, and that's why she's special.
I'll say what, that dad can coach no matter where he watches his daughter perform. Only one more woman to come to challenge what looks like a win here at the Ultimate Four for Michelle Kwan, Irina Slutskaya of Russia. We'll be back in a moment. We are back in Binghamton, New York, and this crowd is about to go nuts. I've gotten a sneak peek at the computer scores, and they're extremely good. They're going to vault Michelle Kwan into first place.
5.9, 5.8.
What is also special about this performance is Michelle knows that she's not really being challenged by any of the other women here, and yet she has not lowered her standards. Just a few more sixes to add to the collection.
And every single one of the judges, the German, the American, the Swiss, the Canadian, and the Russian, have all placed her first. Let's go down to Beth Riek.
Look at those sixes up there. Congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you. Well, I don't know, I felt really good out there. The audience was there with me, and I just skated from within and just let everything go.
Well, the scores seem to prove that you're not looking at the competition, that you're really skating against a place inside of yourself.
Well, I think competition's all within. You're competing against yourself, and you go out there and you skate your best, and that's all that matters.
You have to wave to your dad. He's way up on the top row up there somewhere. Okay, Al, back to you. Thanks, Michelle.
Well, the only one who can change the competition is right there. Irina Slutskaya, the world silver medalist.
Irina Slutskaya.
She was second entering this free skate, and on the draw, she wins the opportunity to skate last.
And she will be skating a Russian folk piece. Triple Lutz. Almost the same mistake as she made in the short program. choice for her. It's actually a modified version of the long program she skated at the Olympics.
And you're like me, right? You like it when a skater uses music that takes us to their home?
Absolutely. And the only skater to do the Biellmann on both legs.
Got a lot of spirit. Neat element when she matches the music and the break that calls on the music, and she hits the jump, and it sounds so dramatic as the skates scrape along the ice. Irina Slutskaya.
She understands the music. It's within her.
But there was that one misstep, and it would seem that that would prevent her from overtaking Michelle Kwan, who neared perfection with all her sixes.
And it's not just the minor mistake, it's the overall quality. Michelle's body line, the stretch, the flow. Irina's not there yet.
Зай, я запуталась. А я жду музыку, стою.
Oh, no!
She's sort of faking patting off the sweat. Here are the technical merit scores for Irina Slutskaya. I think the fans here have shown that they like to see the skaters do well. They like to see them rewarded.
And the marks for presentation.
Because they're watching from a pure sense. Here's the presentation scores.
And those marks drop a little from the technical mark because of her lack of polish.
That will knock her down to third. That means Michelle Kwan has won the 1998 Ultimate Four. And that her dad and coach, Danny, and mom, Estella, are proud and have done an extremely good job once again. Tonight, she and the other skaters will pack their bags and head for a new town and a new challenge tomorrow. With Beth Ruyak and Sandra Bezic, I'm Al Trautwig. Good night. Thanks for joining us.